Hey there, and welcome to Business Over Cocktails. I'm Lauren Najar, your host and hype woman, bringing you real talk about entrepreneurship. This is the podcast where we dive into the bold whys, the messy middles, and the game-changing aha moments that lead to success. You'll hear unfiltered stories from entrepreneurs, plus bite-sized solo episodes inside the Business Chaser series, where we cut through the noise and get straight to what actually drives sales, visibility, and growth. So whether you're here to get fired up or finally feel seen in your business journey, pull up a seat, pour your favorite drink, and let's have a real conversation. Everyone, I am so excited right now. This is the next recording I'm doing, and I feel very emotional right now. I have had a dream to create a podcast for a very long time, but I feel like it has been a journey to get here because I wanted to figure out how to bring a podcast to life. Because, of course, if you know me, I don't want to do things like everyone else. I want to do it slightly different in my own way, in my own style. And so when I had this idea that I just wanted to have conversations with people, that is when my podcast was born, because why not record it and why not get these sound bites and share the stories of my favorite entrepreneurs? Business Over Cocktails is born. And I would be remiss if I didn't have a cocktail as my very first episodes. I will say as a disclaimer, depending on when I'm recording these episodes or where I'm recording them, I may not have an actual cocktail because we're not party animals over here. And right now, I actually have an alcohol-free Kentucky Mule that I will be having during this episode because, of course, we're called Business Over Cocktails. Drink up, right? Oh, you probably saw my face. It is alcohol-free. I do recommend this brand, by the way. I'm not sponsored by them by any means. So the goal of this podcast, if you are tired of perfectly curated entrepreneur podcasts, I am going to be interviewing my favorite entrepreneurs, unfiltered, not structured. We're going to be in a conversation. I want you to have the questions answered as an audience member, right? So what that means is I want people to interview me to find out more about me. And I want to do the same with my favorite people as well. So if at any point you are listening to these podcast episodes and you're like, oh my God, I want to hear so-and-so on Lauren's podcast, or I want to know this about Lauren, I want you to message me. Go to Instagram, find me, Lauren Najar, and I will literally answer these questions for you. So, Business Over Cocktails. What can you expect? We're definitely story-driven. Expect a lot of storytelling. Bold, transparent to a T, but I also want it to be a little bit fun, right? Just like how I showed you this little cocktail. But the idea of Business Over Cocktails is lounge vibe. And I want you to truly think about being comfortable, laid back, opening up, having a conversation. I love the idea of a speakeasy. I love the idea of a good lounge. And I love having a good conversation over a glass of wine or a martini. And so that is the vibe you can expect. Of course, I don't look like I belong in a speakeasy at the moment, but that is the vibe of this podcast. That is why I named it that. So guests are going to be sharing the why behind their businesses, but more importantly, their stories and how they got here. I want to really have those unfiltered conversations. You can also expect some business advice from my guests or from myself each week that episodes are aired. For instance, we're going to have a full episode and you're going to learn so much about my guest or myself in each of these episodes. But at the end of the week, you're going to get a bite-sized, actionable, no BS strategy on the subject matter of the expert that is on my podcast that week. So you can expect to get some education on here as well, not only about story, in the behind the scenes of your favorite entrepreneurs, but we're also going to hear some actionable steps and strategies for their business as well. If you don't know who I am, Lauren Najar. I am a 2-time cancer survivor. I had Hodgkin's lymphoma. That is a light purple ribbon if you really want to know. And of course, if you've been here for many iterations of my business and my branding, I have had light purple as part of one of my main colors forever. I lost both my parents when I was in my early 20s. And so right around the time I was overcoming their deaths was when I was also diagnosed with cancer. So I had a good span of 5 years of just tragedy after tragedy. And so that is my story. If I really were to think about what is the catalyst for me starting my business, it is going through those things as well, because I definitely did not ever think about business coaching, social media management, marketing, any of those things before my mom passed away. I have built my business from the ground up. I am self-funded. I am self-taught. I, of course, have had mentors over the years, and I do have a background in sales and finance. And that over the years has helped me get to where I am today. But I don't have anyone backing me. I don't have investors. I have been business coaching now for 6.5 years at the time of this recording. And I've been running a marketing agency now for 4 years. I help other entrepreneurs follow no BS strategies. I don't do fluff. I want to get straight to the point. And again, this podcast and everything that I do is very transparent. I am all about the transparency behind the scenes, and I want to know what makes people tick. That's basically what I want to do and find out from this podcast. So, on top of being a marketing and business strategist, on top of being a cancer survivor and somebody who has survived a lot of things in my early 20s, I do coaching. I do mentorship for the NASDAQ Mentor Makers program. I am an event host. I host Growth and Connect dinners. That is my series of dinners and retreats that I started in 2025, hosting in-person events every quarter. I am also a mom to the cutest, and I'm biased, but it's so true, the cutest 22-month-old little girl. I am a wife. I am a woman who doesn't take no for an answer and will find a way to figure out how to make my dreams come true. That is all about me. So, why am I launching this podcast now? Why have I been in business for 6.5 years? Why am I launching this podcast? There are so many podcasts out there. Why in the world am I doing this? I am doing this because I finally have a full belly yes, and my intuition is telling me it is time. Over the years, I've been told I have a story to tell. Over the years, I've been told I should start a podcast. Over the years, I've been told I need long-form content. But I just never could find the path forward of, do I really want this? Do I really want to do this? And I even remember talking to a podcast manager, and if she listens to this, she's going to know it's her. I've been connected with her for quite some time. I just don't know what I want to do it on. And she has messaged me several times over the years and just like, if you don't have a good idea, don't just start one to start one. Like, you have to be excited about it. And so now I'm excited about it. I have my idea and it fits well into my evolution and my brand and my business. And I don't want to just interview people and give us marketing tips that maybe we've already heard or we already know. I want to know about people's stories and I want to know the good shit, right? So you've seen behind the curtain of an online business. Maybe people share their transparencies with you, but this is the space to peel back even more layers and to get to the nitty-gritty of why people are the way they are, essentially, right? I want to make people feel less alone because while we share our transparency and our wins and our struggles, it's the stories and the why and the reasonings and the details that actually make us feel like somebody else out there is experiencing or has experienced what we do. And to see that person come from one end to the other and get to the other side of success or after their struggle, that's what we need to hear. I get that people make $10,000, $20,000, and then they share their costs and expenses as well. And while I love that transparency in this industry, I also want to share that there's so much more that still makes us feel alone, and to where the online space can be very perfect and seemingly everyone else has it easy except for yourself. I'm over the fake it till you make it advice. We're over that. We want to build in public. We want to share what's really going on. And I don't want you to put on a front. This is a space where you can drop everything and you're accepted for who you are. I crave the honesty and the connection. I love strategy and I absolutely love storytelling. So I'm combining all of those things in this podcast. So I'm creating a podcast that I want to exist. And yes, there are storytelling and interview style podcasts, and which I do feel that are still a little bit more refined. At the moment, this space is no judgment, no worries, come as you are type thing. That is how I also host my events as well. We don't show up and we're not networking traditionally. We're not shaking hands and wearing name tags and badges. We're coming as we are, as the people behind our businesses, and sharing our purpose and our why. Who is this podcast for, you ask? Business owners, creatives, dreamers, maybe people that don't own a business yet. Anybody building something and they want more. They want to be accepted. They want to be celebrated for their ideas. This is the space to do that. If you're craving authenticity, welcome. I don't want to create curated highlight reels. I don't want to share the day in the life of, and it's perfectly crafted. These are for the people that are constantly underestimated and overlooked. This is your place to shine. This is your place to feel seen. And this is your place to feel supported. So what can you expect on this upcoming podcast? Sneak peek of some upcoming episodes in the Business Over Cocktail podcast. We are going to be doing entrepreneur stories. I have 10 people, I think, lined up already for them to share their stories with us. And I'm pretty excited about them because a lot of these people are either previous clients or current clients. And while I feel like I know them, I really don't know them on this level. You're going to hear the bite-sized episodes of the expertise of people from those interviews as well. These bite-sized episodes are called the Business Chaser. And real conversations on sales, marketing, visibility, personal growth, all of that is going to be mixed in. So don't feel like you're going to come and not get any education. I have those bite-sized episodes for you from the Business Chaser, and where you're going to get some expertise and tune in every week. But you're also going to hear those in their longer episodes too. While I want to hear the story first and foremost and the storytelling element, and I want them to share the background information on why they build their business, you're going to hear success stories naturally. You're going to hear wins naturally. And you're going to hear how they've overcome struggles in their businesses as well. I have people coming up. I don't think I want to share their names just yet, but I am going to be teasing them on social media over the course of launching this as well. So the last thing I'll leave you with is I really hope that this is something that you have been craving as well. Thank you so much for even just attempting to listen. Thank you for tuning in. If you like this episode and you're excited about the upcoming episodes, please subscribe and follow the podcast on whatever platform you're listening to this on. This will also be a YouTube video. So if you're watching this on YouTube, welcome. Thank you so much. I invite you to share this podcast with somebody else that needs this as well. Maybe they need to come on here and I would love to speak to them. But I want you to share this from an authenticity point, not just because maybe you're a fan of mine or you're a client or a previous client. I want you to share this if you genuinely feel that this is going to help somebody else. We are into the realness of this, and I have goosebumps as I'm ending this, but thank you so much for being here, and I hope you enjoy the upcoming episodes. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Business Over Cocktails. where real stories and bold business moves come to life. If this episode lit something up in you, share it with a friend, tag me at Lauren Najar or the podcast page at Business Over Cocktails. Make sure to leave a quick review as well. It helps more than you know. Until next time, keep chasing what matters and building the business that feels like you. Cheers.